Hey everybody, welcome back to Andrina's Creation. In this video, I am going to be showing you how to design and put together this new template called the Rose Holder. It comes with a variety of holders. So it comes with 3 holders and 1 rose. This template is compatible with Silhouette Studio and Cricut Design Space, but today I'm going to be using how to make it in Silhouette Studio. So let's get started. Your materials, you're going to need solid core cardstock, now white core. I do recommend 110 pound, 100 pound, or 80 pound. This is the pack from Michaels, and it comes in a variety of colors, but like I said, it's thick cardstock, not the 65 pound cardstock. I do enjoy using this one, but my favorite brand is Bazzil, Bazzil. But down below in the description, I'm going to leave the links of all my favorite cardstock. Also, the template does fit on an 8x11 and of course a 12x12 cardstock. You're going to need your metallics and your glitters. It doesn't matter the brand and whatever you want to use. My favorite brand of metallics is the Kodamaa brand. It comes in silver and gold, and also I have found a good rose gold on Amazon as well. You can use 8x11 or the 12x12, and you have also at Michaels, they have a variety pack of the metallic cardstock that you can use, and like I said, your glitter cardstock if you want to use glitter. You are going to need acetate. Now, make sure that the acetate that you use is thick enough because of the score marks. If you don't use thick acetate, it's going to rip when you fold it. I'm going to leave the link down below of the one that I'm using. This is kind of they don't even call this one acetate, they call this a stencil paper. So it's very thick. All right, so you need to make sure, because when you fold it, it should not be ripping. Okay, it can take that fold, so make sure that it's very thick. And again, I'm going to leave down below the link of the one that I'm going to be using. If you don't have a printer, I highly recommend going to your local craft store and buying decorative paper pads. They have a variety of them. It comes in different colors. It even has like foils. Some of them have texture, and you can use this for any template, for any party favors if you don't have a printer at home. And they come in hands. And even if you have a printer and you don't want to print, go ahead and get your paper pads. Clear twist ties for you to hold the rose in place in the holder. If you don't want to use these, you can use a small ribbon to tie on it, a ball chain if you want to add a tag. You could do whatever, but I will be using the clear twist ties. Of course, your adhesive, any kind of glue of your choice, and I am going to be using double-sided tape to put on my acetate to adhere to the cardstock, and my own brand of glue. But I'm going to leave a link down below of another glue that I recommend because I no longer sell my glue, okay? And if I miss any other supplies, I will mention it throughout the video. Okay, the first thing that you need to do is head on over to my website, andrinaskreations.com. You're going to look up the AK Rose Holder template, but also remember that all the links will be down below. Once you see this template, all you have to do is add it to the cart. As soon as you add it to the cart, this message is going to pop up. It's basically telling you, like, make sure that you know how to unzip your files, make sure you know how to download your digital files, and so on. Make sure that you also put the correct email before making a purchase. If you by mistake put the wrong email before making a purchase, or when you make a purchase, all you have to do is click here on the chat now, send me a message, and I will help you go ahead and put the correct email if you made that mistake. But also, before purchasing, make sure that you read the entire description of the template. This file comes with 4 SVG templates, 4 silhouette files, and you need to make sure that you know how to decompress a file. These files are going to be coming zipped, okay? You will not be receiving a refund for digital downloads. You do have to have an account on my website to make a purchase. I don't allow just guests purchasing on my website. That's just a personal preference. And remember, these are instant downloads. As soon as you make a purchase, it will go directly to the email that you provided. If you can't see it, make sure that you check your junk and spam folder. All right, so as soon as you make a payment, you add it to the cart, you make the payment, you are going to receive a digital download link. So from here, you're going to click where it says download now. you're going to see a compressed folder, meaning that this is a zip folder. The first thing that you need to do is go ahead and extract the folder. You need to open up that zipper so you can see what files this is going to open. Now remember, I am using a Windows computer, but for a Mac, you have to double click on the folder to decompress it, okay? I do not have a Mac, but that's how you open it. And you could do a quick Google search on how to decompress files using a Mac. Like I said, I am using a Windows computer. Now, right here, you're going to see that it says open file. I do not click that. I need to make sure that you do this next step because a lot of people download it and then they don't know where the file went. So instead of clicking open file, you're going to click right here where it has the folder. You're going to click on that folder. Then here, you're going to click on, the thing is selected. You're going to click here where it says extract all. You're going to click on extract all. Instead of clicking extract, do not do that because you don't know where exactly that is going to go, okay? So your next step you have to do is click on browse, all right? Click on browse. Then from there, you're going to go ahead and save it to a folder that you know where you're going to locate that folder at, that you know the name, that you remember the name, okay? I also recommend using an external hard drive so you don't go ahead and put all this into your computer or laptop and you go ahead and have all these files there and then you run out of storage, okay? So like I said, I highly recommend using an external hard drive. I am going to click on my external hard drive, all right? And then I'm going to right click. I'm going to click on new. I'm going to create a folder. If you already have a folder created, like Andrina's Creations templates or whatever that you know exactly where to go ahead and save it, go ahead and look for that folder and select that folder. If you don't have a folder, this is showing you how to create a new folder, okay? You will click on folder and name it. I'm going to go ahead and locate a folder that I have already named Andrina's Creations templates. I'm going to select that folder and I'm going to go ahead and right click and I'm going to create a folder inside of a folder, if that makes sense. So I could just know it, this is the rose template. I'm going to click on folder and I'm going to name it the AK rose holder. Double click on there so it can really go in there and I'm going to click select folder and now I'm going to click on extract and it's going to automatically extract in there. As soon as it extracts, you're going to see every single file that this compressed folder contained. As you can see, it has the rose holder number 1, rose holder number 3, rose holder number 2, number 3, and the rose, the actual rose. Now you're gonna see so many files because you're gonna have one SVG and one silhouette file per file. All right, so you're gonna have 4 silhouette files, 4 SVGs. Right here, a lot of people get confused. Where is the SVG? On my end, depending on what you have downloaded on your computer, you might have Photoshop or all that kind of stuff. Your symbol might look different than mine. So this is how my symbol is going to look. It's going to look blue. But right here, you will see it says SVG. On my end, it also says Microsoft Edge. That is your SVG, okay? And then this is the silhouette file. It says it right here, Silhouette Studio, all right? So how do you bring in files in Silhouette Studio? It's very easy. I'm going to show you 2 different ways. Go ahead and open up your software, which I will be using Silhouette Studio, of course. And this is how it looks. Now, the first way is you're going to go to File. You're going to go to Merge. Do not click File and Open because you're going to open a new document. Just go to File and Merge and then go ahead and locate that folder that you just saved that file in. The other way is to go down here to your quick file folder. You're going to select it. Let's say I am going to be using the AK Rose Holder number 1. I'm going to click on it and I'm going to go ahead and drag it into Silhouette and it's going to be just like that. All right. So that is number 1. And then if you repeat the same step again with the number 2, you look for the rose holder number 2 and drag it in there. So this is the rose holder number 1, rose holder number 2, rose holder number 3, and the rose template. All right, so this is your actual rose. All right. Your next step is you need to go ahead and figure out what design you want to put in the background of your holders, okay? That is if you're going to be doing a print and cut. You do not need to be doing no print and cutting if you're going to be using those paper pads that come from any store, all right? I'm going to be showing you where I got my digital patterns from. So I personally use Creative Fabrica. This is a monthly membership. I'll leave the link down below as well. You don't have to use the membership. You can pay one by one whatever you're going to be using. But like I said, I highly recommend getting the membership. You can go ahead and try it out for the first month for just $1. Like I said, I'll leave the link down below. But I do pay yearly. All right, so this is one of the patterns that I'm going to be using, which is the Mother's Day. I'm going to be using this one as well. I'm going to be using this graduation pattern as well. And for the font, I know the font was called Barbie. I cannot quite remember which of this Barbie I downloaded, but I do for sure know it was the Barbie font, right? Because you can download a whole bunch of fonts from here. And how do you download? All you have to do is click on download, and you're going to do the same thing like I showed you on how to download the template. You click on download, you're going to get that zip folder, you extract it, make sure that you name it. So I have a Mother's Day folder, then I have like a kitty folder, and I have a graduation folder, and that's how I saved it. All right, once you have everything selected, if you're just doing a practice, you can easily go on Google and look, or Microsoft Bing, whatever, and search up graduation pattern, graduation background, flower background, and so on, and go ahead and practice with those straight from Google, okay? All right, so I'm going to go back to Silhouette Studio, and let's say I'm going to start using this one. It will be the same way. You'll go to File and Merge and look for that pattern, or you will go to your quick file folder down here. Go ahead and locate that folder, double click it, go ahead and see the pattern that you want to use, click it, and drag it into Silhouette. Just like that, okay? That's all you have to do, all right? I'm going to make this smaller. How do you zoom in and zoom out of Silhouette? All you have to do is right here, there's a magnifying glass that looks like with the plus sign, the minus sign, and then there's a mouse one. That's how you zoom in and zoom out. Just in case your screen might look different than mine, I am on version 4.4895 Silhouette Business Edition. You can use Silhouette Studio for free. You do not need to have a cutting machine to use the software, but for this template, you will need a cutting machine just because of the intricate cuts. All right, so let me explain what the template is. The pink layer is the main base. The gray one is the one that you're going to be cutting out of acetate, and this is going to be glued right on top of here to hold your rows. Teal layer is the one that you're going to be cutting out of metallic or glitter cardstock, and then the lavender is where you're going to be doing your print and cut, or you're going to be cutting out your pattern out of your paper pads or whatever decorative cardstock you want from here. You don't even have to have no decorations. You can go ahead and also cut this out of metallic or glitter. You can do whatever you want. I'm going to click on this. I'm going to double click on it. So I'm going to right click, duplicate, because I want to show you how will you put a pattern on this lavender piece right here. So because I have business edition, I have a property dropper that looks like a medicine dropper all the way to my left. Okay, so I'm going to show you two different ways. I'm going to go ahead and duplicate it. I'm going to click on that lavender piece. I'm going to go ahead and click on that medicine dropper that's all the way to my left. I'm going to select it, and I'm going to click on that digital pattern that I just brought in, just like that. If it looks different, I'm actually, because I already resized that one, so I'm going to actually use this one. So let's do that again. So I'm going to click on it, click on the property dropper, click on that, and as you can see, it kind of looks like kind of distorted. So I'm going to go here all the way to my right. It looks like a paint palette. That is your fill icon. I'm going to go here to my third option. I'm going to select it, and when it says aspect ratio, I'm going to click on the first F, and as you can see, that got fixed. All right. A different way is if you do not have a business edition, you're going to go ahead, right click, and send to the back your pattern so it can be in the back. You're going to go ahead and make that pattern a little bit smaller, just so it can fit it like that. You're going to click here somewhere on your screen, drag your mouse to select both. Go to your modify icon that looks like a rectangle and a circle all the way on your right, and you're going to click on crop. And as you can see, that's it. That's how you do it. All right, and this is here where you're going to be doing a print and cut. A print and cut means that you need a printer to print and you're going to have your machine to cut. So how will you do this? I want you to be aware that the size of this template right here for the lavender piece for rose holder number 1, it's exactly at the height is 10.574. All right, in Silhouette Studio, all you have to do is go ahead and go to your page setup. That is your first icon that looks like a piece of paper. On your media size, you're going to go ahead and change that to the size of paper that you are going to be using. Like I said, this fits right here on an 11-inch paper because the size is 10.574. All right, keep that in mind. So my media size, the media size means the size of paper that you're going to be using, the size of vinyl, size of cardstock, and so on. So you're going to change that. Maybe when you open your software, it was on 12 by 12. So like I said, I put my media size to 8 by 11 because that is the paper size that I'm going to be printing on, okay? Now I need to turn on the registration marks to let the machine know where exactly to cut. So I'm still on my page setup, which is the first icon. I'm going to go here to my third option, and where it says registration marks, I'm going to turn that on. Where it says thickness, I'm going to make sure that that's all the way to my right, and my print bleed is also on. Then I'm going to go ahead and put that here. Now I'm going to go ahead and put a line color so you can see it because of my pattern is white. So while it's selected, I'm going to go to my line style all the way to my right, and I'm going to just click the color black so you can see it here on the screen. As you can see, everything that's outside of the red outline, the machine is not going to cut. So you're going to have to manually cut that out by hand. You can also rotate it. You see that green circle here? You can also rotate it to make sure more of the template fits on inside of the red outline. See how everything fits here? And now what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and print this out. How do you print in Silhouette Studio? You're going to click on your printer icon all the way on your top left corner. You're going to click the printer. You're going to click on print. And as you can see, you can't see the outline color. And let me explain that because I know a lot of people get confused. The reason why, even though you see the black outline here, but you don't see it when you go print, it's I'm still here on the line style icon, and I'm going to click on the first option. As you can see, the thickness says 0, meaning that there's actually no actual thickness of a line that is not going to print. If you ever want to print an outline color, you need to make sure that you bring that thickness up so you're able to see it. So let's say I bring that up to a 0.5. When I go to back to my printer icon, you will be able to see that black outline there. So let me click on cancel. Let me make sure this is selected because I actually didn't have it selected. In 0.25 or whatever, and then now you can see that black outline. Okay, I don't want a black outline on mine, so I'm gonna put the thickness all the way to 0. Now again, go to your printer icon all the way on your top left corner, click on print, click on the printer that you're going to be using. I'm going to be using an EcoTank 16600. Select the printer, click on preferences. I like to print from my paper tray, so the paper source says paper tray. Document size 8 by 11, and then the paper type is on premium presentation paper matte. I'm gonna click on OK, and then it's going to print. All right, so that's how you print. Once you print, you are going to go ahead and put this paper that you just printed on your mat, load it to your machine, and it's going to cut. You're gonna go ahead and click on the send tab all the way on your top right corner. Put the settings. This is another way that people get confused. It doesn't matter the material that you select here. I like to use my own settings. All right, so my blade, I like to have it on 6 or 7. I like to have it on 2 passes because I am using thick cardstock when I printed this out. The speed, I'm going to put it on 5 or 6, and my force on 26. It doesn't matter the material that you have. It just matters the settings. All right, you can go ahead and use the pre-settings that they have. Another thing, if your machine did not cut this out, as you can see, even though this is here, you do not see a red outline around it. So when you load this up, nothing's going to cut. You need to make sure that whatever you have here on the mat, you had to click on cut. And now when you see the red outline, that is going to cut. You're going to go ahead and load the mat, Click on send, and it's going to cut this out. You're going to go ahead and repeat the same steps for all the holders. You either go ahead, right click, duplicate. You either go ahead and put the pattern on this, the lavender piece. Let's go ahead and turn the registration marks if you are going to be doing a print and cut. All right, so this one, the size is 11.125. Let me go ahead and put the lines on. And you can go ahead and turn it. Remember, like I said, everything that's outside of the red line, your machine is not going to cut. So this is how it's going to look for a print and cut. Same step for rose holder number 3. Turn on your registration marks. Put the pattern on there. Now for rose holder number 3, this one is a bit bigger than all of them. So if you are doing a print and cut, you will have to cut some stuff out by hand, as you can see, because some of it's outside of the red registration mark. So that was rose holder number 1. Rose holder number 2 is the same thing. Main base, acetate, first layer, second layer. Rose holder number 3, base, acetate, first layer, second layer. Now, like I said, you're also going to be receiving an actual rose template. You're going to look at this and be like, what exactly do I have to do here? This is a lot of layers. Do not get overwhelmed. I'm going to be showing you exactly how it is. This is the first layer, second layer, third layer, and this is the layer that's going to go right here in between to give it the color of the rose that you want. All right, to know exactly the size of the name or word you need to put on here, because it needs to fit on your holder, I highly recommend bringing in the holder that you're going to be using. Let's say I want to use rose holder number 1. Because I already have it open, I'm just going to right click, copy, go to my rose template, right click and paste. All right, because I need this part. The other way is because you already have the rose holder, the rose template open, you go to your file folder, go ahead and locate that first template, look for rose holder number 1, select it and drag it into silhouette, and now you also have the template there. So there's multiple ways. All right, but I need this piece as a reference to know the size of name that I need to make. All right, so you're gonna click on the first base, hold your shift key, click on this green button and rotate your base or your holder just like this. All right, put it like that. To type in Silhouette Studio, whenever you download any font, you need to make sure that the whole software is completely closed. You're going to download the font, install the font to your computer, and then you go ahead and open up Silhouette Studio. If Silhouette Studio was open and you downloaded a font, you're not going to be able to see the font that you just installed. So make sure that your Silhouette Studio is completely closed. So how do you type in Silhouette Studio? You're going to click on the A on your left, then A on your right. And like I said, I am using the font Barbie, so I'm going to select it. I'm going to click anywhere on my screen and I'm going to start typing. I don't think I also said this. In Silhouette Studio, you are able to use everything in your canvas. So if I zoom out, I'm able to use all this, my entire software. I can use all that part. Now, anything that you put in the canvas right here is what's going to be printing and cutting. All right, so this is my name here. After I type, I click somewhere else on the screen so I can edit it, so I won't be no more on the edit mode. I'm going to select my font again. I'm going to go ahead and color that font so you're able to see it on the screen. Fill icon that looks like a paint palette. I'm going to go ahead and color the color black. As you can see, it has like a red outline. I don't like to see a red outline, so I'm going to go ahead and click on the outline color. Click on no color. Now, whenever you use a script font, I need to go ahead and make sure I show you this again. So I'm going to actually click on the color white so you can see it. Whenever you use a script font, you will see that the words are now welded together. You see that the R goes into the I goes into the A, as you can see here. So if you leave it just like this, it's going to cut into the words. They're not welded together. So whenever you are using a script font, the first thing you need to do is click on it. Before you weld it, you need to make sure that this is the actual font that you want to use. If you welded, it's no longer a font. So like I said, I could double click on this. I can re-edit the word, or I can click on it, go back to the A on my right, and I can switch the font. After you weld, you can no longer do that. All right. But I'm going to right click and I'm going to weld. As you can see, all the words are welded together. All right. Also, I feel like I'm gonna select everything and group it, because after you weld it, the hearts got separated. All right. So I'm gonna select everything, right click, and group this together. When I sometimes use script fonts, I feel like they are a bit too thin for me, and sometimes the machines have a hard time cutting such thin fonts. So I'm going to go ahead and thicken this font up. The way I do that is I'm going to click on the font. I'm going to go to my offset icon that looks like a double star. I'm going to click on offset, and I'm going to click my offset to be at least on 0.010. All right. I'm going to move this down, and you might not see it, but I'm going to select all this, and I'm going to color it the color black so you can see it. Right click and group it together. So this one is thicker than that one. I'm going to delete this one. I no longer need it. I am going to be using that one. Also, let me right click and ungroup it really quick, and I'm going to move my A closer to that R. I don't want it so separated. I'm using my arrow keys to put it more together. All right. I'm going to select here and group everything together. Now, if you look at the rows that I provided, I'm also going to remove that red outline. Silhouette always does that. Remove that red outline. As you can see here, I provided you with 3 layers of the rows. Basically, the actual name is going to go here on the first layer, and I need 2 other layers so it can be with the other layers of the rows. How you would do that is, again, with the offset, you're going to click on the name. You're going to click on the offset icon, click on offset, and the offset to match the rows was 0.050. All right. So I'm going to go up 0.050. I'm going to go ahead and color that so you can see it here on the screen. And I'm going to go ahead, another offset, click on the double star, click on offset, again 0.050, and I am going to go ahead and color that so you can see it. So I have 3 layers. It does not matter the color that you have on the screen, because you're going to be using cardstock. You're not printing this out. All right. I'm going to go ahead and group this all together for now so everything move as one. I'm going to go ahead and remove that outline color. All right, so you're going to go ahead and select the 3 roses all together, the pink, the teal, and the lavender. You're going to go here to your transform icon, and you're going to click on center to center them all 3 together, okay? I'm going to go ahead and color the first part black, the lavender one, so y'all can see it better on the screen what I'm doing. Again, it doesn't matter what color you have on the screen because you're not printing this out. I'm going to go ahead and put my name here, and I'm going to select everything, the rows and the name, and I'm going to go ahead, right click, bring to the front, and I'm going to be using my template as a guide to know how big or how small I can make that name. And what I mean by that is, if you accidentally make this name so big like this, it's no longer going to fit on the holder. So use your template as a guide. All right. I'm going to go ahead and put this smaller. Also, your template has 2 holes right here, which is what you're going to tie your rows right here on the center of the rows. So make sure that you see those 2 holes where it's going to go, so you know exactly where your rows is going to be going. Just like that. Put exactly where it's going, and then now you know how much room you have for your name. All right, so now I am going, remember this name was grouped. Now I'm going to go ahead and ungroup my name. ungroup it because I need to match the black with the black. All right. So what I'm going to do not get confused. I'm going to select the name only. And my pink base. Make sure it's only the name, and hold your shift key and make sure the rose is not selected. So I only want, all right, hold on. I want the base. And I'm the base and the name only, send it to the back. The base, pink base, and the name, I'm going to right click and send it to the back. All right, because this is sent to the back. Now the only thing that I'm going to do is click on the black name, right click and bring to the front because I only want to see the black. All right, now I need to align, let me exit this out. I need to align the black with the black, well, the name with the first base, if that makes sense. So I'm going to go ahead and select it. I only have the name selected, all 3 layers of the name, and I'm going to be bringing it down to match. Remember, I have all 3 layers selected right now. Only the name I have selected. The name is bring to the front and the other one to the back. I need to make sure that this black matches right here. And as you can see, that don't match as well there. So I'm going to be like rotating it just a tad bit and maybe make it just a tad bigger. You cannot go outside the base, okay? So as you can see, the black matches there, the S matches there. All right, I think everything's good. You can go ahead and move this base over. You no longer need it. And now you're going to be welding each layer together. The black layer of the rose, hold your shift key and the black name, right click and weld together. And remember, when you weld it, if you have the font that I'm using, the hearts are going to separate. So just make sure you right click and group it together before doing anything else. Bring that down. The blue layer with this teal one here, right click and weld together. Bring that down and select all this, right click and weld together. So now you have all your 3 layers with the name. You only don't have to make a name. You can type whatever you want. Congratulations. We love you. We're proud of you. But remember, that's the only space you have here to write whatever you want. I gave you the exact measurements, how you sold first the rows to fit on the holder. And like I said, use the holder to know how big your name can go or how wide your name can go. So this right here will be your 3 layers. And you can go ahead and rotate this again, holding your shift key, put it like this. And now you're going to be like, okay, so what is this piece is for? This is for you to know what color of the rose you want to be. Let me go ahead and right click, bring that to the front so I can show you, and then right click and bring this to the front as well. So this piece is going to go behind here. You can cut this out of glitter, metallic, whatever you want. And then this, you're going to glue it back here for the color of the leaves you want. All right. You can choose whatever color you want. You can even be creative and put an actual picture here or design. The same way how I'll show you guys how to put a pattern into the other side of the template is the same way you'll do it here. So let me go ahead and just grab, right click and copy this really quick. Go to here, right click and paste. Let's say you want your rose to have that. Click on that red piece. Like I said, I have business edition, so I have the property dropper, and I'm going to click on that. Your rose can be like that if you want it to. Let's say someone's graduating or whoever. I'm just going to give you an example. I'm going to go quickly and grab a graduation picture from Google. Right click, copy image, go into silhouette, right click and paste. Let me move that to the side. Click on that property dropper, click on the image. Remember, if it's distorted, click on the fill icon here and click on the first aspect ratio. And then in Silhouette Studio, you are able to move the image if you want it to. While that is selected, you're still on the icon that is the fill icon. You on the third option here, that is the pattern option, and where it says pan pattern, if you click on it, you're going to see a circle that pops up, and you're able to move the image wherever you want it to go. You can also scale up, scale down, however you want. When you put it back on into that rose, that is now considered a print and cut. So you're gonna have to turn on your registration marks and do a print and cut and so on. All right, but I'm just gonna leave that a regular color, just like that. All right, because I want my rose to be like a thicker rose and not flimsy, I'm going to be cutting out each piece 3 times, and let me show you. I'm gonna go ahead and put my paper size to 8 by 11. I'm gonna click on the pink one, put it here, the pink layer, which is the first layer. Actually, the first layer, I'm gonna be cutting it out 4 times. So I'm gonna click, right click, duplicate. I'm gonna go ahead and hold my shift key. I'm gonna turn this around like that. Right click, duplicate. And I'm gonna cut this out. Once I cut this out of solid cardstock, regular solid color cardstock, and again, you go on the send tab, put your settings, make sure that is on red outline that you see the cut. You already know the settings that I like to use, the blade of 6 or 7, 2 passes because I use thicker cardstock, 4s of 26 or 27, and speed of 5 or 6. All right, once that's cut, I'm gonna go ahead and move these two, delete it because I don't no longer need it, and I'm gonna cut another piece out of glitter cardstock or metallic. I'm gonna be using glitter. So my first layer, I'm actually doing 4 layers. You don't have to do that. It's just because I like how thick it looks. I learned this technique from TJ's Magic Touch. If y'all want to go ahead and check out her channel, she does lovely cutouts for ladies and moms, and she likes to layer her cardstock to make it thicker. All right, so the first layer I'm cutting out 4 times, 3 of solid cardstock, 1 of glitter. Once that is done, I'm going to go ahead and cut this out only 3 times. So duplicate, turn this around, and yep, go ahead and cut that out 3 times. So basically right here, and the 3 layers already fit on an 8 by 11, so that's wonderful. So once that is cut, let me go ahead and delete these, move that to the side. I'm only going to be cutting this out 1 time out of my metallic cardstock. I'm going to be using gold. You can use silver. You can use holographic. You can use glitter. But this, I'm only going to cut it out 1 time. All right. One. When I say 1 time, it's basically like 1 layer. All right. And then I'm going to go ahead and cut this out of whatever color I want. And then I cut this out. All right. So like I said, let me show you here on the screen so it could kind of make sense how many layers it will be. 3 of solid cardstock, 1 of glitter. Three of solid cardstock, 1 metallic, whatever color you want and whatever color you want. And that's basically it, y'all. I hope all that made sense. So now let's go ahead and put this template together. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and start with holder number 1. So go ahead and fold the score marks of your acetate piece. I am going to be using double-sided tape to put on the tabs. And I'm going to go ahead and align this piece all the way to the bottom of the holder. And make sure that you do it very good, because once that tape is down, ain't no more removing it. If you feel like you're not that good with the double-sided tape, then just go ahead and use a regular glue, like the 3-in-1 Beacons glue, so you're able to move it around if you didn't align it correctly. All right, your next step is going to be go ahead and start gluing your first and second layer, making sure that you align everything correctly and that you can see the bottom cardstock when you glue all your layers. Go ahead and use them 2 holes as a guide so you know exactly where the center is. For holder number 2 is going to be the same exact stuff. You're going to go ahead and fold your score marks, align it to the bottom of the holder, and adhere layer 1 and layer 2. Holder number 3, same exact thing. The only thing is that this piece is a bit bigger, but just make sure that you align it correctly to the bottom, and then you're going to go ahead and adhere layer 1 and layer 2. All right, so now it's time for the rolls. Go ahead and start gluing all the layers that you guys decided to cut out. Like I said, I showed you guys how many layers I did. You could do more, you could do less. It's totally up to you. All right, now it's time to put your rolls in the holder. Like I said, I am going to be using clear twist ties. And like you can see, that name that I did right here, I did it really thin. I had to thicken that up, but whatever. Anyways, I am going to be using twist ties. If you do not want to use twist ties, you can use ball chain, and you can even hang a tag. If you guys have purchased my clear gift bag template, that template, I provided 3 different styles of gift tags that you can even use for this template. Remember, when you buy multiple templates, you can combine one with the other. All right, like I said, just put it in there, tie it in the back, and you're done. All right, you guys made it all the way to the end. I hope you guys enjoyed this quick tutorial. I mean, not that so quick, but you get it. If you made it all the way to the end, comment down below a rose emoji. Also, if you are new here, don't forget to subscribe and click on the notification bell to get notified every time I upload new videos. Don't forget to go ahead and join my free Facebook group. It's called Andrina's Creations Crafting Lounge. I hope you guys enjoy this template. Also, comment down below anything else you would like to see from me. Until next time, I hope everyone's having a blessed day, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye, y'all.